My name is Rogelio. I was born and raised on a ranch near San Francisco de Borja in Chihuahua. Since childhood, I have loved the fields, taking care of the cattle and planting corn with my father. But many years ago, something happened that I still cannot forget. It's something that, though it may sound like a lie, kept me awake for a long time. It all began one summer when my father left me to take care of the land for several months. He and my mother went to the capital to look after my sick grandmother, and since I was already an adult, I had to stay alone in the house. The land was ready for planting, and my job was to keep everything in order, tend to the animals, and watch over the fields. One day, while checking my father's cornfield, I noticed something strange. In the middle of the field, where the slope began toward the creek, there stood a scarecrow. It was tall, wearing an old hat and a tattered jacket. Its arms were spread wide, and its head was made from a burlap sack with eyes and a mouth drawn in charcoal. I was surprised because I had never seen it before. I assumed my father had put it there before leaving to scare off the birds that ate the crops, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But as the days passed, strange things began to happen. At night, when I tried to sleep, I heard footsteps outside, slow, heavy steps, as if someone were dragging their feet. It made no sense because the nearest neighbors lived far away and I was completely alone. One night, I even heard someone knock on the kitchen window. When I looked outside, there was no one there. In the morning, I checked everything around the house but found no footprints or any signs of someone having been nearby. Then I noticed something else. Each morning when I went to check the field, the scarecrow seemed closer to the house. At first, I thought it was my imagination, but after a few days, at dawn, it was already standing right next to the corral. I asked my neighbors and relatives if anyone knew about the scarecrow, but everyone said the same thing. They had never seen it before. My uncle, Abelardo, who had lived there all his life, swore that it had simply appeared out of nowhere. Hardly anyone in our region ever made scarecrows, maybe one or two farmers on rare occasions, but never around here. Besides, my father had never done such a thing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I placed a machete beside me and locked all the windows. Around 3 in the morning, I was awakened by a quiet sobbing sound, as if someone were crying out in the field. My heart froze, but curiosity overcame fear. I looked out the bedroom window and saw it. The scarecrow standing under the moonlight, head hanging low, and from it came that same sorrowful sound, like a child's cry. I swear the sound came from the scarecrow itself because there was nothing else around. No houses, no animals, only the moonlit field. I stood there in the dark, staring for a long time. The scarecrow didn't move, but the crying continued. I returned to bed and prayed to every god I knew because I felt that what I had seen was not human. At sunrise, I gathered my courage, grabbed the machete, and went to the field. But the scarecrow was no longer where I had seen it at night. It was back in the middle of the field, as if nothing had happened. That's when I decided enough was enough. I took it down, carried it to the yard behind the house, built a large fire, and threw it into the flames. As the fire rose, the burlap sack that served as its face began to move. I swear it twitched as if it were alive. Then a dry, piercing scream filled the air, as though something inside it was suffering. The smoke was thick and an odd color, and the smell was not like burning wood or trash, but like burning flesh. Heavy, foul, unmistakably real. When the fire finally died, I gathered the ashes and threw them into the creek. From that day on, everything was calm again. No more footsteps, no more crying, no more knocking at the windows. The scarecrow never returned. Sometime later, my parents came back. When I told my father what had happened, he said he had never placed a scarecrow on the field and didn't know where it came from. Maybe some prankster had done it, he said, but he seemed puzzled himself. And I still remember those charcoal-drawn eyes and the sound that echoed through the night under the moon, because no matter how much I try not to believe it, that scarecrow was truly alive.